to Real Reds React. Now, we didn't get the chance to react to this yesterday because we speak about a lot of other stuff on the Sunday Social. If you want to go check that out, then please do be my guest. But unless you've been living under a rock for the past couple of days, there was a post that was put out on social media, and we're certainly going to react to that situation tonight. So these are the topics that we're going to go through. Garnacho controversy. I definitely want to get people's thoughts on that and Sam and kind of dive into the situation. Nkunku availability. I know it's a player some people don't like. I am a fan of him. Should we move for someone like this? Interesting. Preseason fixtures. And kind of when they're returning to training, I'm starting to get those kind of details now. And also we had a story coming out of the MEN before about a couple of scouts being moved on and kind of Christopher Vivell refining that scouting system. So yeah, we'll touch on that towards the end. But Sam, this Garnacho situation has to be spoken about, doesn't it? We've had plenty of back and forths in the WhatsApp, as always. But yeah, obviously last night or yesterday morning, whenever it was, Garnacho posted on his Instagram a picture in an Aston Villa kit with Marcus Rashford on the back, and some people think, oh, he's just supporting his boy, or whatever you want to call it, right? We've seen a variety of reactions from loads of different people on social media. What is your, before we dive into the specifics, what is your personal reaction to it?
If it was an isolated incident, I'd kind of just let it go and be like, yeah, he's supporting his mate, and he's like, we've seen loads of players wear kits and stuff like that. Even this week, like Ahmad was wearing the Brighton kit with a Dringo on it, wasn't he? They're Ivorian Coast teammates, and he was wearing his kit. I think Dorgu was wearing a Roma kit when he was playing football as well. It's popular to wear kits. Like you bought me a Real Betis kit. Like I've bought you a Real Madrid kit. Like people wear kits that of teams they don't support. So I wouldn't read too much into it based on that alone. But the fact that he's put it on his Instagram, when everybody knows that he's fallen out with the club, Rashford has fallen out with the club, they're actively looking to sell them both, and he's made a post specifically. He's not posed in the shirt, he's posed with a shirt with the back with the Rashford name on it. So he's done that for an effect. He's done that for a reaction. So I think he knows what he's doing with this post, and if you look at the history of the stuff that he has done, it fits into his sort of methodology of the way he works with social media about posting stuff, liking post, reposting stuff, and even speaking out, like we said, after the Europa League final, criticising the manager, complaining about being dropped, etc. So, yeah, I think he's done it deliberately. I don't think this is an innocent mistake. And if it is, it's the first one he's done because, like you said, he's got the history. But if it was an isolated incident, I could be like, yeah, fine, it's just a post. But I don't believe it is.
Yeah, it's my question with Garnacho. It's always, why have you posted this? What do you think? And it's obviously to get some form of a reaction. There's obviously some kind of friction at United at the minute, which is why very credible journalists surrounding United have come out and said he's going to move on. They don't want him to stay. He was fuming after we had, how many situations we had with now in reality? We've had the interview after the final, where he was like, I basically, in a nutshell, he said, I should have played, 20 minutes wasn't enough, I helped the team, yada yada, right? That was one
and
situation.
We'll see what happens in the summer.
Yeah.
Which basically saying he wants to leave is the indication.
Another one, I mean, how many times has his brother came out and put stuff on saying, oh, he should have started, he's been disrespected and all this kind of stuff, right? Yeah. He's been probably a handful of times he's taken to social media. But the situation when he was integrating into the team, I think was it with Bruno in pre-season, where he kind of had to like check him a little bit and just say, you know, be humble, effectively. And I'm sure there's been other situations that I can't think of.
He was told off for being late, wasn't he? For the team bus when he was on pre-season, I believe.
Yeah.
And then he liked a post that was criticizing Lisandro Martinez.
Oh yeah.
He then, I think he also reshared a post that was critical of Ten Hag and then deleted it. That was the thing. So yeah, he's got a history of stuff. Like he knows exactly what he's doing. Like he knows exactly. This is what, like, I'm going to sound really old, but I am. But this is what young kids do on social media. They post passive aggressive stuff and don't quite indicate who it actually is about, but everybody who knows them knows what it's about. That's kind of what it is. Like that's how they use social media.
Well, the situation in isolation, his actual transfer in a minute, we know he doesn't want to go abroad. because there have been clubs in Italy that have, and I'm sure there are other clubs as well that are interested in bringing him in, but he wants to stay in England. So then you can really look into it and say a Villa kit. You know, he would really suit Aston Villa actually tactically.
Yeah.
I think Aston Villa are a very transitional team. They obviously play with wingers as well, and they have players who drift out wide and become kind of problematic. And Garnacho, someone who carries the ball really well. Maybe that's reading way too much into it. I don't know, but if he wants to get a move, United are going to force it. It's got to be a club in the Premier League. And we've already spoken about Chelsea going in for Gittins and going in for Malik Fofana from Lyon as well.
Yeah.
So is this another move now that might not get done?
It's an issue, isn't it? It's an issue. Like, you look at the people who we want to get rid of. Anthony, he's only considering Real Betis, it seems. Or he's given priority to them at least, and they don't have the money to get him. So what happens there? Rashford is only interested in a move to Barcelona, but they're moving forward with a move for Nico Williams, which would suggest to me that Rashford move won't happen, because if they're adding another wide forward, then where's he playing? I know you mentioned, he's Thierry Henry's new hero now apparently, and he's in number 9, which when he was at United, he said he disliked playing number 9, but now he loves it apparently. So take what you want from that. And then, Garnacho, I only want to go to a Premier League club. Well, Chelsea are not interested in you. So who the hell's coming for you? Arsenal are not going to come in for you. Liverpool are not coming in for you. Where are you going? Like, who's buying you?
What do we think, everyone? I'm fascinated to get people's thoughts on this, because I have seen a lot of different variations. Navin Mirpuri, sorry if I'm mispronouncing that, has said, "Hey guys, Bruno." We'll talk about that Ben Jacobs thing in a moment. That kind of just went off just before we was kind of going live. Garnacho is such a petulant child. He knows exactly what he's doing. That's from Sid the Whistle. Daryl Tolhurst saying Garnacho knew exactly what he was doing. Stroppy, toxic kid. He needs to go in order to be successful. He needs to have players with a winner's mentality and not petulance. T2 saying he's also very badly advised. If the only qualifications you could put on a CV is brother, chances are you aren't qualified. And random guys in the chat as well. Big up random guy. Trashy and Garbacho. Children. There we go. So there's a couple of people's thoughts on the situation. Has he done too much damage now, do you reckon, Sam?
Yeah, I think the Europa League interview for me was, that's it. Like, I was like, I'm done with this guy. Like, he needs to go. Like, similar to Ronaldo, again, love Ronaldo, one of my favourite players who ever played for United, but when he's on an interview with that slappy, meat-faced twat, Piers Morgan, going, the manager's shit, the young players are not good enough, blah, blah, blah. The other stuff I agreed with about the Glazers and the training facilities, etc. But when you're chucking your own teammates and your manager under the bus on live television, like, you know what you're doing. And God actually knows what he's doing. So when you're like that, I don't think we need that toxicity and that culture in the dressing room. And I think there's been far too much of it allowed to stay. And we've had it over the years with the likes of Pogba, the likes of Lingard, Dean Henderson was another one. Like, there's too many of them, and I just think we need to sort of eradicate that culture from United. And if that means Garnacho, Sancho, and Rashford go, then so be it. The only player I don't have an issue with is Anthony, because he's actually kept his mouth shut. He's willing to take a wage cut. He went to Betis, performed extremely well, and wants to move. I'm like, I respect it. Like, I respect like his honesty in the way he's working. All the other three, yeah,
it's weird, isn't it?
Act better, innit? Act better.
Yeah, it's a strange situation. We've always said with wingers at United, for whatever reason, currently there just seems to be problems left, right, and centre across the board. Yep. Sancho, Garnacho, Rashford. There must be something in kind of wingers' DNA. I have no idea. Sid's asking, why are we looking at Nkunku? This is a player, he has 100+ days of injury per season since joining Chelsea, and when he's fit, couldn't budge Jackson as leading striker. So you give me the perfect segue, so we might as well push into that now. So apparently Man United have contacted Christopher Nkunku's entourage in recent days to discuss the possibility of a transfer should they decide to pursue him. Now, the journalist this is coming from, it's kind of like, nah. Do you know what I mean? You don't really know he's not a great journalist. Let's just put it like that. He's tier 2,
Yeah.
tier 3, call it whatever you want to call it, right? So it's probably just something, a bit of an aggregator, looking for a story, looking for a few clicks. But we have to discuss these kind of hypotheticals. Enku is someone in the German league, for Leipzig in particular. His record was fucking incredible. I will admit his injuries are bad, or they're getting worse, one might say. But I still think, I don't know, there's something in me. When I see a player, when I watch a player, like, he is a good player. And people will talk about Chelsea, and it's sometimes systems can make or break players. And I think Nkunku in one of those inside 10 roles would be good. Am I saying he should be a priority like an Mbeumo or a Cunha? No, I don't think he should. But if there's a loan option there, if Chelsea need to get him off his hands, if it's an extra player of quality, I would take it in that isolated circumstance. Your thoughts, Sam?
I think the injuries are a big concern, massive concern. And we've seen players come from the Bundesliga and struggle. Timo Werner came here, didn't work, did it? Like, just didn't work at all at Spurs or Chelsea for that matter. I think it's a bit unfair to say, oh, he didn't get Nudge Jackson out when he's not really a number 9. I know he can play there, but he's not. Yeah. He's not really a number 9. He's a 10. Like, that's kind of his position. Those inside 10s probably suit him quite well, to be honest with you. Very similar to like a Xavi Simons type player. Like, that's the sort of position he'll play in. But yeah, the injuries are a concern. How much? Like you said, if it's a loan deal and the wages are all right, then let's take a look. And if he can stay fit, then fine. But yeah, the injuries are a massive concern. Like, big concern, because he's been out so many times. And I think he had a major ACL injury when he came to Chelsea, did he? Like, when he ended up like making the transfer, and he was out for 6 months with an ACL. So that's a big injury. Like, we saw what happened to Terrell Malacia after he had an ACL injury. Like, he wasn't the same afterwards. So yeah, concerning.
Yeah, I have to almost... when you look at it, I mean, I didn't realise how bad this was. But since he's been at Chelsea... a knee injury 110 days, fitness 44 days, hip injury 24 days, hamstring injury 68 days, and a knock for 27 days. So he's missed around 50 games for Chelsea since signing for him, which is a lot. Which is maybe it's too much, really, when you think about it. I'm thinking about the type of player he is and what I've seen at Leipzig, and if he's getting that many injuries at the minute, I mean, even when you go back to his Leipzig days, torn lateral knee ligament, wrist injuries, back problems, like, it just seems riddled, absolutely riddled. Yeah,
I mean, we've had enough of those players at United. Like, we don't need more. We've got Luke Shaw, Mason Mount is one of those. Anthony Martial. Like, I'm just done with injury-prone players. Like, it does my head in.
Yeah, I get it. Random saying Anthony's a genuine guy. He didn't perform, but you can't say he didn't work hard. The guy's a professional. He has my respect. Just on that, I think he did for the majority of the time, but there was that situation where he got asked to play at wing back and he was fucking whinging.
No, he's
a fiery, flaky at times
guy.
Yeah.
Like, he's an excellent guy. Like, I wouldn't call him a genuine like workout guy. I wouldn't say that, but in the move to Betis, he's played well and he's willing to take a wage cut, which is all you can ask when you're trying to get a player out. That's what all you can ask for a player. Like, if they're doing that, then it's like they want to go play football somewhere else. Whereas you can't say the same about Sancho, Rashford, and Garnacho, can you?
Rancho, I quite like the sound of that.
Rancho.
Nkunku should be a last second on the transfer window type of deal, maybe even a January window signing. Yeah, if it was a loan, I'd take a punt on it, but that's at max. I would never pay a massive fee plus wages, because I'd imagine the wages on Chelsea are pretty decent. UTFR saying it sounds like we've upped our Mbeumo bid. Ben Jacobs 10 minutes ago. To be fair, we went live about this yesterday and said it was around £63 million, and it's probably going to be add-ons included. So it sounds like it's not too far from that. But Sam, whilst people are talking about it anyway, we might as well kind of talk about it. So Ben Jacobs and Alex Crook. Again, I won't dive into all that. But Man United have now improved their offer for Bryan Mbeumo to over £60 million. Talks have accelerated in the past few days and will continue this week. So stepping up our pursuit of Mr. Mbeumo can only be good news, right?
Yeah, hopefully it gets done before... When do we come back to training? 10th of July?
7th. I think 7th it is.
7th, sorry. So yeah, hopefully we get it done before then. That'd be nice. Get him in training, him and Cunha in training the first day. That'd be nice to have. Yeah, it's just taking some time. I know people are like, just get it done, get the deal done, but I think it's important that we don't overpay for him. It's important that we don't have a situation like Mason Mount where he had a year left on his deal. We were paying like a stupid amount of money for him, and then he ended up being injured the entire time. I'm sure that won't put it with Mbumo. He's got quite a good injury record. So yeah, let's hopefully it gets done within the next, what have we got, 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks. Let's hopefully it gets done in those next 2.5 weeks.
Wu JMT says imperative to get the main three out of the door, pretty much regardless of the fee. Wages alone is money. The behaviour and attitude are pretty disgusting. It's massive to move them on. Yeah, that will. I'm sure they are working tirelessly to try and get those deals done.
The issues are separate. Like I think Garnacho, the wages I don't think are that high. Like obviously the higher than they should be, but
50-60k Garnacho.
Yeah, so I don't think that's an issue. It's just the fact that he's going, I'm not leaving Premier League. That's the issue. Rashford, there's an issue with wages, but he's also only interested in Barca, even though Barca don't seem interested in him.
Could he make it any more clearer that he wants to go to Barcelona? Fucking hell.
Is he outside the ground? The like window against
with the flag on.
Yeah, just like and then Sancho, the problem is the wages. That is the issue. Like, no, there's people willing to sign him. Fenerbahce, Napoli, Juventus are interested. There's Chelsea wanted to sign him, but he refused to take a wage cut. So, what do you do? Like, you can't make him take the wage cut. Like, there's nothing you could do about it.
Thing is, I actually think some of these players are genuinely talented in the right kind of setup. I think they could do really, really well. I think if Garnacho was to go most places abroad, I think he would light it up. I think Anthony's just lit it up for Batiste. I'm sure Rashford, in a bit of a slower league with his pace and his threat and just going into his prime now, I'm sure he could do really, really well. So it's about finding the right places for him. It must be so difficult. The wages make it the most difficult, really. If they was all on 80k a week, I'd imagine a few of them would already be out the door by now.
Yeah, they'd be gone. They'd be gone. And Rashford, Barca probably would have come in for Rashford if he was on 80, 90k, because they would have been like, oh, that's cheap. We can get him in and stuff. They probably would have already come in. Sancho would have gone to Chelsea already if he was on that kind of money. So yeah.
Well, of course, so all of this is important for the pre-season preparation, and we know that Amorim, as the demands that he's placed, is that he wants signings in before pre-season so we can work with the players and really start to integrate the system and change the team, sort of playing in his style, because last season was just, we had a mixed pack, didn't we, and it wasn't really working. So in order for that, I mean, we return to training on the 7th of July that we just touched on. But then our pre-season schedule, we've got Leeds in Stockholm on the 19th of July. We've got West Ham in New Jersey on the 27th. Bournemouth in Chicago on the 31st. Everton in Atalanta on the 3rd of August. And then Fiorentina on the 9th of August, before then we play Arsenal on the first day at Old Trafford, right? On the 16th, 17th, something like that. Thoughts on pre-season, teams that we're playing? Usually there's a big one in there, isn't there? But not... I don't see any kind of Madrids or Arsenals like we had last season.
No. Leeds, we seem to always batter them, don't we, when we play Leeds? It seems to be a thing. We always batter them. And it's always nice to play Leeds because we can't stand them. Bournemouth, I fucking hate playing just because we seem to get absolutely torn to pieces every time we play Bournemouth. So that'll be interesting. Fiorentina's a good test. Everton, David De Gea. Yeah, back at Old Trafford. Everton would be a good test because we always seem to struggle against Everton, but we always seem to win at what was Goodison Park, don't we? We always seem to get a win at Goodison Park.
Yeah, we beat them 4-0 last season, Everton, and then I can't remember the reverse fixture. 2-2 won it because we went 2 goals behind, and then Bruno and Ugarte scored, I think.
So, I think there's some good tests there. Obviously, I think the level of competition, like you said, is we aren't playing Arsenal, we aren't playing Real Madrid, we aren't sort of playing those level of teams, but we're playing Premier League teams, and we're only pretty much in the Premier League this year. I know we've got cup competitions, but the highest level of competition we'll have is a Premier League team, so makes sense to me. Like, why play massive European giants when we're not going to be playing them?
Yeah, I don't mind it, to be honest with you. And the teams that we're playing, the majority of them are all around us in the table anyway. So If you're tuning up against Prem sides, I'm fine with it. Hopefully, it's better than the last couple of pre-seasons, because the last two, I think, have been fucking shit. We've had injuries on them. We've had difficulties with transfers. I don't want all that again. You've got to get a really good platform to spring off for the start of this Premier League, because we've got a tough 5 fixtures, as you know yourself. So, yeah, I'm looking forward more forward to that than this Club World Cup at the minute. I can say that much.
I've not watched a single game.
I watched one.
A single game.
I watched the Inter Miami, and I can't remember the team that they played. It was like 1 a.m, and it finished 0-0. And I was like, that's enough for me. I don't need to see any more of this. So, yeah. Pre-season, it's just your club in it, so you can look at some of the young players, see how they're doing. Like, it's much more interesting to me. I think the Club World Cup's pants.
Tactical tests and stuff like that. Like, obviously, we saw that sort of pre-season where Sancho was playing in the 9 and stuff like that, and there was something like interesting stuff going on. So yeah, that's always nice to sort of look at and work out. Good to see new signings, like how they look. We obviously saw Lenny Yoro before he unfortunately got injured early on in pre-season. So yeah, hopefully no injuries to any of the new signings, please. Like, that would be great.
Now, amongst preparation for pre-season, there's been a couple more changes to the not board, but to scouts, basically. We've had news from Samuel Luckhurst in the MEN reporting that dozens of scouts have left United in the last year. Christopher Vivell has streamlined the department to 10 first-team scouts. United want Vivell to take ownership of the reduced scout network after years of poor business in the transfer market. Just sounds like the correct kind of competent decision, really, doesn't it, Sam? Not too much to say on it.
Yeah. I mean, I think our scouts have been pretty fucking good. If we look at the sort of players we've identified, they've just not been listened to. They've just not been listened to. So if you can have 100 scouts and you're not listening to any of them, then what's the point in having them? If you can have 10 scouts and you're actually going to listen to them, like it's like specific scouts that you've got for specific types of players, then good. Like let's hopefully we start listening to him, because we've identified players like Casido. We had that deal teed up for us by Antonio Valencia. He knew the family, he knew the club, he knew the agent, and he basically presented it on a silver platter to United. And we went, nah, not doing it. Benjamin Sesko was available for 2 million, and we just went, nah, it's too much money. Erling Haaland was available for a couple of million. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was like, you have to buy this kid. Like, I've used it at Mulder. Like, he's fantastic. Didn't get him. Like, with Julian Alvarez, Ralph Ragnick knew about Julian Alvarez. Didn't listen to him. So, yeah, we need to start listening to our scouting department, because I'm so sick of them going, we've got a database of 500 right backs, and we out of those 500 right backs, we picked Wan-Bissaka. The most obvious choice in the entire fucking list of right backs. It's just like, honestly.
I think how different our team would be with Haaland, Casido, and Alvarez.
Yeah.
And I think he identified Enzo as well when he was at River Plate for like 15, 20 million before he went to Benfica or wherever it was in the Portuguese league. Just you think how much money you'd fucking save as well. Like, you're not only are you bringing in good players, the price that you're saving on them. Haaland ended up going to City, which the deal cost hundreds of millions. Caicedo cost 115 million. Sesko's going to go for about 60, 70 now. Alvarez went to Atletico Madrid for 80. Yeah. And then had you had bought them all at the price that he was actually at, you're making so much fucking money.
Well, like, you buy them at the price you had, and say a couple of them didn't work out for whatever reason, or they wanted to move on. You're making a profit regardless. Like, you're not losing money on him. Say you buy Casido for a couple of million, maybe you don't sell him for 115 million, but maybe you sell him for 50, 60 million. You've automatically made 48, 49 million in profit. Like, it's ridiculous, man. It's so ridiculous.
I must admit, I do like that Christopher Vivell, though, from what I read and what I see.
He's got history. He's got good history.
At Leipzig as well, as we were talking about Nkunku and players like that. At Leipzig, at Chelsea, he's got good links, and he seems to be doing a relatively decent job. Yeah,
Will Cox is the same. He's got sort of good connections. Obviously, worked at City Academy. He was director at Southampton when they brought through players like is it Belanochka, who's Diblin, players like that. So yeah, we've got some good people in charge. So hopefully we use those expertise and those connections, and we can start sort of bringing in those types of players.
Yeah. UTFI, United definitely has a plan to move the Three Stooges on. I can't wait to see the end of Rashford, Sancho, and Garnacho. Might be controversial, but I think one of them will be with us on pre-season. I don't know who, but one of them will be.
I think 2 of them could be potentially.
Yeah, I agree. The only thing good about this Club World Cup are Boca Junior fans. They always show up, don't they? South American fans are just like players, really, just nutcases, aren't they? So yeah, pre-season roll it on. We got what 2 weeks now until the players return to training. But we've still got transfers ongoing as well. So you always know, guys, as we always say, bottom right-hand corner here, Instagram, X, Twitter, TikTok, sorry, if you are on that platform as well. Drop us a follow. Also, I'm going to put the members video, which is in the chat right now. Obviously, that is for current members at the minute, which is basically me just reacting to a load of stupid Sunday League shit. Some very, very funny clips in there. So if anyone hasn't seen that yet and you are a member, check it out. Let us know your thoughts on it. And also, if you want to become a member, click the join button next to the notification bell because, Sam, what have we got coming up? Maybe not to give away too much, but...
No, but we have spoken about it for a while. We have got merch incoming. So it's happening. It's really happening. So please do keep your eyes out for that. We've got some guests on this week. We've got Alice tomorrow. Alice talks football. I'm sure Amir, if he's in the chat, will be extremely happy.
Where's Alice?
Yeah. And then Sporting Sam, potentially on Friday. I've not heard back from him yet, but potentially Friday. Definitely do it this week, but we're going to get him on. I know a lot of people in the chat have been asking, and he said, yeah, he's up for it. So we'll get him on and we'll get his thoughts on Gyökeres, on Ruben, Amarin, all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, look forward to it. Going to be a busy week reading into a couple of things that are going to be happening. So please do turn on that notification bell on YouTube so when we do go live, you don't miss it. Interact on our socials and we'll see you guys tomorrow. Enjoy the rest.